And we're back.
Back in action.
Big back. Welcome to season 5. It's been 5 years since we've started this.
I can't believe it. I really can't.
Honestly, I figured it was just like yesterday that we started doing this, to be fair.
I know. I don't even want to think about how that plays into our age, which is another topic I'll cover when we get there.
Yeah, no, we're just not gonna talk about that. How about that? Yeah. It's been a wild ride, to say the least, and we're just really excited to be back and to be ready to go for season 5 of Partin Me Alex, but obviously the 2022-2023 football. Fuck me. I got football on the brain. Basketball season of Lumberjack basketball. Man, we are red tea. Jacqueline,
Yes.
What are you wearing, first of all?
I'm wearing my, well, I guess kind of in honor of the homecoming auction, I'm wearing my cheerleader as an old school with the red. I know, Matt Adkins, you hate the red, but I kind of don't mind the red. That's a whole separate conversation. But
that's a whole nother thing. But no, I really love your top. I do.
Yeah. I felt like since today we're getting back into it, I'm like the SFA men's basketball cheerleader. So here I am in my cheerleading top. But I did win the one that was in the homecoming auction this year.
You did win?
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot to ask you if you were even bidding on it. Okay, cool.
No one else even bid. So I'm not going to like broadcast this hidden gem that's in the homecoming auction every time, because I've won it now 2 years in a row. Like, this is my thing. Nobody else try to win this top.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure if anybody else can legitimately fit in it.
Uncertain.
Remains to be seen. But yeah, no, I think you're the right person to win that, to be fair. I have on my new Lumberjack basketball shirt.
Oh, I like that. Where'd you get that one?
From Chauncey, from the basketball summer camps that they do. So she's always up there selling t-shirts and stuff. So I went up there one day and I just got a whole bunch of shit.
Love it. Yeah. No,
yeah. I have this one, then I have like a dry fit shirt, and she was selling these really cool. I'm gonna have to ask her if she still has any of these really cool like water bottles that were Lumberjack basketball. Again, here nor there, but anyway, so
yeah, I love that. I'm excited for so the new one that I won is a long sleeve one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an exciting new little fit. I'm ready to.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so first of all, cheers. Yes. Cheers. Dink. I'm drinking my oh god, hold on. Macho Milk Fredonia Brewery Coffee Milk Stout, because it's kind of fall, and this is a fall beverage. It's a coffee milk stout, delicious if you love coffee. If you don't, you probably wouldn't, but
definitely it is good. So I'm actually drinking some. So my mom's younger sister, my Aunt Donnell, and her husband Scott have started, or mainly Scott, she just kind of tries it out, has started making homemade wine. He bought this whole little kit.
Okay.
And so I'm like the resident wine drinker in the family. So I was like, I'll be more than happy to taste test it and give you feedback and notes. So this is the first glass I'm trying out. It's kind of more of a blush.
Nice. Well, they should join the NAC Brew Club then. Do they live in Nacogdoches?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, in Central Heights. Yeah.
We have plenty of winemakers in our brew club, just saying.
Yeah, I'll tell them that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. A lot of winemakers and mead makers and beer makers and everything in between.
Yeah.
I think Jack wants me to make my first beer over Christmas break.
I think that you should.
I know, and I'm kind of nervous because I don't know what to pick because there's so many styles.
I know what you should do. It's easy. You should do a sour beer because that's your favorite.
I know, but I can't do it because we're going to do it on the brewery system. And in order for me to make a sour beer, I would have to have like my own personal system because it'll mess up that's why we don't make sours at the brewery, is because you have to have literally a whole separate system, fermentation tanks, everything for a sour beer. Because if you don't, then basically you'll never get sour out of the tubes. Let's just say it like that. Okay. Yeah. Which I would love to do that, but there's a couple other styles that I really like a Scottish ale or maybe like a wee heavy, which is also very good that I could try. Anyway, here nor there. We'll talk about beer all day. if it was my choice. Maybe I'll start a beer podcast. But anyway, so couple life updates. Jacqueline, what do we have? What's going on with you before we get started talking about basketball?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, hold on. First, let's play a new game called Guess Which Cat is Already in the area trying to get on screen. Who do you
Your
think?
newest cat. No?
She's not sweet enough to be jumping in the lap. No.
Okay, Scotty then, for sure.
Never. Yep.
Oh, that fat cat. Look at him. That fat double R, but so sweet.
My little stage 5 cleaner cat dog.
He is a stage 5 cleaner, yes.
Let's see life updates. So I just finished. This is my first Wednesday. The only reason for all of you, Alex knows this, the only reason we're able to do this podcast on a Wednesday. So the first free Wednesday I've had 8 weeks because I have taken an 8-week ladies golf class.
That's right.
So that was a lot of fun. Long story short, my dad golfs, and he'll tell you he's not, but he's a pretty good golfer, but not very, I guess, orthodox would be the word with his form, whatever. He's never had any training or lessons or anything. So he did not want to try to teach me himself. So I took this class my parents paid for at one of the country clubs here. It was really fun. So it was all ladies. So there was no like feeling like, oh, these guys are,
right,
way better golfers and hit the ball farther and all that stuff. So it was really fun. And so we had 3 like PGA Tour certified pros who taught the course, and one of them, he played golf SFA, and then one of the girls, the first lesson, I kept thinking, like, I recognize her, but I don't recognize her name. I don't know where I would know her from.
Mm-hmm.
So I go up to her after the lesson, and I'm like, okay, I know you from somewhere, but I can't figure it out. Long story short, conversation later, we figure out she played volleyball for SFA.
Oh, cool. Okay, nice.
So yeah, like probably like 5 or 6 years ago, whenever I was still living in Atkintown, I went to every single game. So that was funny. So yeah, the golf lessons are done. I don't know.
Well, now we have to go golfing.
Yeah, and so that was like the level 1 class. They do like a level 2. I don't know. I may want to repeat level 1 before I move up. I don't know, but I mean, I need to, because like most of the girls in the class, their husbands were like members of the club, so they would have time to go out and like practice and stuff. For me, the only time I've touched my clubs has been during the lessons, so I really need to like go out and just actually practice them before I figure out if I can move up a level or repeat. But hey, Rick,
how's it going? I know he recently moved from East Texas to Pennsylvania now.
Yeah. So Rick, how close are you to where David's from? Because you should totally reach out to Bob if you're like in the area. That would be cool. That's the main, I'm trying to think. I feel like that's the main excitement I've had lately.
Speaking of Bob, wait, he's not in that picture. Oh, former coach in front of, never mind. Continue. So that's pretty much it for you?
Yeah, that's the main excitement.
That's good. That's cool. I mean, I'm excited for you about the golf thing. I'll totally go golfing with you whenever. Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm great, but I know how to hit a ball or two. I'm in Bradford. Where is David?
They're from Emmaus. I don't know how close that is to Bradford, but David is not there. David's now in Germany, right?
Yes, I believe. Yes.
I need to check in with him, but that's all.
Rick, as long as you're not a Philadelphia Philly fan, we're good. There's a reason why we chose Wednesday, so that I can just be like totally oblivious to whatever baseball score is going on right now. The game hasn't started yet. It'll start at 7, but still. Okay. Anyway, a little life update for me. Still trucking away at Angelina, teaching in the middle of the semester. Let's see. See, Rick, I knew I loved you. Go Stros. That's my guy. Good man. I got my Astros necklace on.
I love that necklace.
Fingers crossed. Let's see. Other than the Astros in the World Series and me just having like total anxiety for the past 2 weeks because of postseason baseball, and then now basketball starting, it's just going to be, what did Ryan Ivy call it last night? The crossover season, where all these sports were now crossing over. And now I'm just like, You got football going on still. You got baseball coming to a close. You got basketball starting up. And I'm just like, kill me. Anyway. What else is going on? What else? Let's see. The brewery's doing good. Obviously, again, make sure you get your Fredonia beer, especially Purple Lights when you're in town. Opening on Wednesdays now. So now we're trying to fill up Wednesdays and keep those activities going on Wednesdays. Jacqueline does a great job scheduling all the music, and we love her, and she's killing it. And we never have to worry about that because she has that locked down solid. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. I mean, the holidays are starting. Really, honestly, my focus now is just is getting myself ready and prepared for our Thanksgiving break, which we'll talk about later. Getting that ready, prepared for, and then also just finishing up school and having a really lovely Christmas break and not doing a damn thing for once would be great. And then Jacqueline just spending all her weekends cuddling her cats.
Look at him. He's just so cute. Y'all have no idea.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try to stay in Tyler the next 2 weekends and rest before our trip that we'll have to talk about. And starting next week, I'll be making
multiple trips to
NAC. So like, I'm not trying to be doing a 3-hour round trip drive every day for something.
Oh God, no. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. I don't blame you. I really don't. And if you don't have to, then you shouldn't. You know what I mean? But the great thing, hey, woo, Rev.
Oh, hey, Rev.
Oh, Rev, we love you too, man. Look at you. You're excited, and so are we for basketball. But you know what? There's another thing that we're super excited about, and Jacqueline just mentioned her car, and I just would be remiss if we don't talk about our amazing license plates. Our amazing license plates. So if you don't already know this, My Plates has an amazing deal with SFA Athletics. Whenever you purchase a plate through My Plates and you use the code, what is it, Lumberjacks? Hold on, let me go back and pull it up.
Yeah, just go to myplates.com/lumberjacks.
That's it. Yeah. I knew Lumberjacks was in there somewhere. You get a $50 rebate. Only takes a few minutes to order these plates. SFA makes great money on every type of plate that you purchase. Even if you just get 1 year background only, it's only $50. $50. Like, what an easy and great little Christmas present you could potentially give to somebody this year is a My Plate. So many different things you can do. Background only. You could do personalized with background. There's so many things you can do. And if you're not, feeling the whole 5-year paying, almost $500, which again, we get, that might be a little bit of money. You could also do layaway. So you can pay it off as you go and do a layaway program over about a 5-month period. And then boom, you got your plates done. Boom, boom. Or you can win them in the alumni auction. Oh, Rev, you have something to share with us? You won the plate? You saucy nugget, you.
We're surprised you didn't bid on our package.
I forgot who won it. They haven't told us yet who won our package.
We actually, I meant to ask you about this earlier, but I guess I can mention it now. I realized earlier today we got an email from whoever it was. I didn't recognize the name.
What email did they use?
Our Partin Me Alex Gmail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dustin said he was outbid. Sure.
Now it's not, I don't know. My phone's being weird.
Here, I'll pull it up here in a second. But because I was just on it earlier, actually. Well, now I'm intrigued. We got an email from
it was like
Homecoming Auction
thing, I think.
Richard Boyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I wanted to take an extra for myself and say hello as a high bidder for the podcast item. I'm looking forward to meeting you both and having a great time watching the Jacks win a home game later this season.
So I'm a little curious simply because I thought it would be one of our, top fans who we know. So
I know. So this will be interesting.
Hopefully he knows what he's getting into and he's not going to be disappointed. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, hopefully he knows what he was bidding on, that like you're hanging out with two broads for a tailgate and you're hanging out with us at a basketball game potentially. Like, who knows? I don't know. Well,
no.
He'll find out real quick. Yikes. He may not ever want to come back again. And if you're listening, Richard, hello. Nice to meet you. We'll talk, Richard. We'll talk. Don't worry. Man, that's so funny. Anyway, all right. So let's stop beating around the bush. Let's get into why everybody's here, right?
Yeah. Okay. So first, let's talk about last night.
Yes. Let's do that first. Let's talk about last night at Meet the Jacks. Let's do that. Yes.
So last night we had Meet the Jacks. If any of you have never been, you're missing out. It's not any kind of like VIP invite only event. No. You can simply buy a ticket for what, like $20, right?
It was like $28.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
And basically you have dinner and you get to meet the Lady Jacks and Lumberjacks basketball team. Both coaches will get up, have their teams introduce themselves. They'll talk 5 or 10 minutes about the upcoming season. We always have a guest speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Then generally 1 to 2 Lady Jacks or Lumberjacks will be sitting at your table with you. So you get to kind of, chit chat and actually meet them. It's a lot of fun. Last year, the speaker was Gary Blair. This year it was Hiram Harrison, former Lumberjack player. So he was really good. I thought he was a great speaker. Definitely got me choked up when he was talking about
same.
Anyway, so it was good. And normally, Alex and I sit together. This year we were at separate tables. We were still like right beside each other. But one of my dad's friends, Greg Nichols, bought a table. And so my dad and, his bestie, John Alvin, and several others went along with me. I was the only party crasher. All sit together, and we had Davion Scott, one of our new freshmen, sit with us. And he was really, really great guy, super well-mannered, too well-mannered, because I had to tell him to stop saying, "Yes, ma'am."
He's just treating you with respect, ma'am.
He did not, but he tried. He made a good effort. It was funny though, because I was like, listen, I guarantee you I am older than you think I am, but I am not old enough to be called ma'am. So I appreciate it, but you don't have to call me yes, ma'am.
I get ma'amed all the time by my students. I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, but no, he was a great guy. I'm very excited to see him play. He seems like he's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully he wasn't scared off from our table. It was funny. Of course, John Alvin had to be a prankster on him a few times. So
oh Lord.
I was asking him about the Canada trip, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be like, do you have cold weather, warm clothing to wear? Because it's gonna be really cold.
Yeah.
How cold's it gonna be? And I was like, well, it shouldn't be snowing, but like it's gonna be cold. Like the average for the time of year that y'all are gonna be there is like 20 to mid 30s. So it's gonna be pretty cold. And he was like, no, I didn't think it was gonna be that cold. Oh, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be so cold. And John Alvin's like, yeah, you didn't know the stadium where y'all are playing is outdoors.
Oh, John Alvin.
I'm like, oh my gosh, don't give this kid a hard time. But
oh, bless his heart. But that's really nice. I'm glad that you were able to sit with one of the players, especially one that you didn't know or we haven't met yet, and get to know him. He seemed like a really nice kid. Got his head on right, screwed on straight.
Yeah. And I was very glad that Dad and John Alvin finally came, because Alex knows my dad's he's very shy until you get to know him, and then he doesn't stop chattering. But
I mean, how long have we been friends? He just recently started having longer than a minute conversations with me.
It takes him a minute to warm up. So he's not
a minute.
He's not typically good to going to events like this, but then the more that he warms up to it, because I'm like, he loves all the guys, but he's like not the type of person like we are to just go up and be like, hey, nice to meet you.
Right. Yeah.
We love watching you play or whatever. And so I'm like, I'll introduce you to any of them you want to meet. Like, just, come up and I'll do the introduction. So I was very impressed last night. He did one on his own, because at the end we were standing there talking to Day Day, and I had lost track of where he even was. And then he comes up and is like, oh, you're my favorite player to watch. I just love watching you play. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, see, it's that easy. Like they want to hear that. You're not bothering them. They want people to come up and like say, hey, we enjoy watching you play.
Well, yeah, pretty much every single one of them said that they love the community and the people and the family environment when they asked, what is your favorite thing about SFA? Mine is basketball. And literally almost every single person said family, the community that SFA has. One kid said flashbacks, which I was like, finally a legit answer. And then another kid.
That was one of the freshmen. So I'm like, you can't even drink there.
Well, maybe he just likes their pizza.
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
You never know.
Yeah. So general PSA for any of you people, like you're not bothering them to, if you feel that way, if you're like my dad, to just go up and be like, hey, I really enjoy watching you play. Hope you have a great season. They need to hear that. It helps them out.
Support is great no matter what form it comes in, whether it's like a high five, handshake, a hug, just a, hey, good game, or hey, get them next time, a tweet, a message. Like, I don't know if you know this, but my mother has been secretly messaging David fucking Cackle-Reese for like months now.
You know what? I don't doubt it. And while my mom would probably never message him because she hasn't interacted with him as much as your mom has, like my mom is equally obsessed and enamored with David. So like they should just start their own David Cackle-Reese fan club because.
Well, mom's the fucking president, CEO, CFO of it. I'm telling you right now. Like there was one day she was sitting in the living room and she was just like, her phone kept dinging. And I'm just like, who are you talking to? She goes, David. I'm like, what?
We need to message and check in on David.
I just feel like he's my kid. Like, I just want to make sure he's doing okay in Germany. I just want to make sure that he's, having a good time and that he's being safe. I'm like, Mom, he's a grown adult. You met him twice. Like,
yeah.
Jacqueline and I don't even message him that much, for God's sakes. And we even hung out with him and partied with the boy. Like, I mean, come on.
You know what? I'm sure he loves that. So.
Oh, he does. He thinks it's hilarious. And I think he really appreciates it, to be fair. So it's cute. It's funny. So while we're talking about stuff that hasn't, or that it's already happened, I'm just going to do a quick little recap of the WAC Media Day because I took some notes.
Okay.
Some notes. So this was like a week or so ago. I can't really remember when. I was at work and I was watching it at work. And so Keller, Rati, and Nigel were all on. And so a couple of the questions that they were asking, which actually were really good questions, and I was very impressed with how well the WAC really handled Media Day, and they really actually made it like a true fun environment, and also it just felt very professional. So shout out to the WAC for, even though it was all virtual, it still felt very, like Power 5-ish. So that was nice. So some things that Keller says that he's really impressed with this team so far is the size of our team, which he mentioned last night as well. Even though we have really big guys on the team and like the size of the team, we're still extremely quick, fast.
You know what? We talked about this because John Alvin said it, and I kind of agreed with him. I sort of disagree with that. I don't think that our lineup's bigger than it has been in the past. I feel like last year we had more big guys than this year.
Yeah, I don't know,
but
just reading.
Yeah, I know, and he said that last night, but I don't know that I agree. But
yeah, and then maybe he means like size is in like like generally most of the guys are all big. I don't know. And then he also made a mention of it during WAC Media Days. Well, this is like the best shooting team he's ever had. Interesting. So we'll see how that goes as well. Again, I always have very positive, expectations, but I always curve them just a little bit because you never know. We haven't seen them play yet. We have no idea. They were asked about the expectations for the season. And of course, they're not going to be like, well, we just want to, they want to obviously go far. They want to be the same, but better than last year. And that was what Rati said. Like, they want to still have the same, result getting into Vegas, but they want to be better. Obviously, we were all really disappointed with their performance last year at WAC Vegas, losing out in that first round. And, oh, thank God the women really came up and salvaged our trip for us. But yeah, I think that's really the big expectation, of course, is to, again, get to WAC Vegas, win, go to the NCAA tournament as per usual, and, try to make it as far as they possibly can. That's always the That's always the expectation. He also mentioned a couple of the guys, and I wrote down his pronunciation of their last names, which I can never tell if Keller is like purposefully like being, you know how he is. Like he says names, and I don't know if he's being like if he's giving the true pronunciation or if he's just being goofy. So I wrote down what he said, and I don't.
Okay.
We're gonna have to double check these. I don't know.
The only one that I don't know for sure how to say is AJ's last name.
Okay, Kajusti.
Okay.
That is what I wrote down.
Okay.
That is kind of what Keller said. So we'll have to wait and see if that is. As soon as Rob Meyer says all of these things, or Danny Merrill says them, then we'll know if we're legit. Bro Braun was the other one, and then Am Brewster. That's how I wrote them. So hopefully those are legit and close enough. So they also asked Rati about his injury and how he has been recovering from that, obviously, since it was a season-ending injury from, that was so devastating, from last year. And so basically he said he's pretty much 100% like injury. When it comes to the injury, he's made pretty much almost 100% recovery. Because, ACLs, that is so rough to come back from, to be 100%. And so, but he looked good. He's looked good in the scrimmages from what we have heard. And so, again, very excited about that.
Yeah, I'll be anxious to see him play because I just know hopefully he's recovered well and it's not causing him problems, because I just know some people even back to it that they just can't ever seem to move the same.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And I know we'll have to again see how that goes. So a couple other things they talked about was, of course, like the Cancun challenge from last year. They talked about the kind of like their mentality on defense, being that every pass is a loose ball. And I feel like we saw that a lot last year, and I feel like it's just going to continue on that kind of mentality this season as well. It's not an easy way to play, Keller said, and obviously it's not. The way he plays defense and the way he runs the defense is just very different from what a lot of people do. Let's see here. The guy that was doing the interview, I didn't write his name down. I totally forgot to write it down, but he mentioned that he thinks that SFA is one of the hardest playing teams in college basketball, which I thought was a really nice comparison, especially when you put us up against, Power 5 teams. So that was really nice. A couple other comments that the players made. Rati saying that our D is a lot better this year than it was last year. Press U is back, baby, in a big way. So we'll see. Again. And then, of course, another comment that I really, really liked, and I wrote it down, was that this year, not saying that they weren't last year, but this year they just feel like they're playing for someone else. Like they're playing, they're locked in, they're playing for other people on the team. They're not being selfish. Like they know that this is a team sport. And they're moving on a string on D. So it's all very like calculated and all very, almost like a dance type thing. And I thought that was really kind of poignant to say that they're playing for someone else. It's not all about the individual, because it is a team sport. So I thought that was really cool. That's pretty much the gist of what I wrote down from Media Days. And so just really excited. Whenever Media Days rolls around, Meet the Jacks rolls around, it's getting close. So, we're just really excited. So we can move on and start talking about the team.
Let's talk about our trip and some of the games.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Okay, go ahead.
I can't wait any longer.
Okay, I didn't know when you wanted to bring it up. I didn't know if you wanted to bring it up now or later. Whatever you want to do, go for it.
We've already alluded to it. I think some people have seen it. So as y'all know, they're playing the guys are playing in a tournament. So the last time that we played in a tournament right after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving or whenever it was in 2018 when they went to Belfast, and I was fortunate enough to get to go. And
internationally, they played Cancun last year too.
Well, yeah, I guess like overseas, far away.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my partner in crime here wasn't able to make it on that one. So now I guess it's just as far as the Cancun, but whatever, it feels farther.
Right.
Playing in Montreal, and guess who's going? I'm going the wrong way. Both of us. We can't wait. So
yeah.
we're gonna fly out Thanksgiving Day.
Guess who has four thumbs and is going over to Canada? These girls. That was stupid. Anyway, you get the point.
No.
Yeah.
We're very, very excited. We're going to leave Thanksgiving Day. The tournament Saturday, Sunday. Unfortunately, Alex does have to teach the next week, so she'll leave on Sunday to come back. One of my friends who I visited probably like 8 years ago in Tunisia moved to Montreal right before COVID, and I've been wanting to visit him ever since, but COVID happened. Canada's been very strict on restrictions for traveling during COVID. So this kind of worked out perfectly. So I'm going to stay a few extra days, hang out with him, sightsee. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be had by all.
Yeah.
Hopefully SFA supplies all of our boys with some warm gear so they don't freeze.
I know. I forgot I told you that I ordered a parka.
Oh, you did?
Like I ordered like a really heavy winter coat just in case.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to see it. Yeah. So we've
like a 3-in-1 coat where you can like unzip things and zip things up to make it like smaller or less heavy and warm. Oh, I look like you remember in A Christmas Story where the mom puts like 18,000 layers on the kid and he's like walking around like this.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I think I'm going to be good with my Columbia jacket I have, hopefully, but
I'm sure you will be. And to be fair, I'll probably be okay if I like unzip a few of the layers because there's literally like 3 layers in there, and like unzip a few of them and just bring like one of the layers. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. Once I start packing, and if I realize there's no way in God's green earth that this thing is very big, that it's going to make it with me, then I may just have to readjust. But I really like it, and I'm going to keep it regardless. But like,
you didn't really have like a big winter jacket before this, right?
I mean, okay. I have sweatshirts and I have SFA pullovers, but I don't.
Yeah,
I have a thick jean jacket that I was potentially going to bring, but other than that, I really don't have like a thick winter coat.
Okay, So yeah, now you're good. I have I can't remember what the name for it is, but I have a Columbia jacket that's one of those that it's like it is like the insulated down jacket or whatever, but it's like thinner. So that purple one I have. So it's not like puffy, but it's the same technology, so it's just as warm as if it was puffy.
Yeah.
So I should be good, but I ordered the LL Bean base layer leggings and top to wear under my clothes to keep me more warm, and I ordered the North Face boots, so should be all good.
Yeah, and I was thinking about ordering, I don't know, sorry, we're talking about our clothes. Pardon us, we're girls. I was thinking about ordering like actual winter gloves, but I ordered 2 already and both of them didn't fit right, so I just don't know.
I have some North Face ones that I really like, and they have the fingertips that can still touch.
And that's what I was going to get from Amazon, and that's what I ordered. But like the 2 I ordered, I really liked them, but they just didn't fit right. Like they didn't fit snugly on my fingertips. Like there was extra room. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure it out. We still have time, but still like, shit. Not much though. God, it's already November.
So let's kind of scroll through the schedule here. We have a few, let's see. So I would love.
Are we doing the team later then?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a few of the games really fast.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. You're jumping around on me, man.
I was glancing at it before we got on earlier, and I hope that we can make the La Tech game because that would be great to get to see Des. And
I mean, it's a Wednesday, but I'll be out of school, so I don't see why not.
Okay. Sign us up. We're there.
Yeah.
I would also love to go to the Furman game, but I don't know how probable that is.
It's just hard because we're spending all this money to go to Montreal. So it's like, it's hard. And plus it's like Christmas right around the corner.
Yeah. We only need monies, people.
We would need a literal GoFundMe account or like a sugar daddy or 2.
Yeah. They are playing on my birthday.
I saw that.
It's been a few years since they did that, but I'm wondering because it's a college I've never ever heard of.
Yeah.
So, like a few years ago, they played on my birthday and they did like a exhibition game and they wore like throwback old jerseys. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that again. I don't know. I mean, it's my birthday, so they should plan something special.
You know what? Even if they don't, we can do something special because it's a home game, right? If I can remember back from the schedule correctly.
It's a Monday night at 6:30. Okay, hold on. Super fast while we're talking about old school jerseys. You've seen this before, but I got to show it to everyone since we talked about it. Hold on.
Okay.
Right here. Take 2 seconds.
Any questions? Anyone have any questions, thoughts, concerns about the upcoming SFA Lumberjack season? We'll get to the players in a moment, but Jacqueline is
okay. I think I've mentioned this before, but anyone who doesn't believe me, yellow used to be one of our accent colors, like LSU.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And John Alvin Woods gave me this jersey, and I can't remember what year it's from, but it's I don't know. It's from like the late 60s, I think, maybe, or the early 70s. And I actually did find out who wore the jersey. I can't remember his name right now, but I would love to one day look him up and try to find him and see if he would sign it for me, and I could get it like framed all cool and stuff. But look at this, guys. Isn't that wild?
That is the wildest thing. And
LSU jersey.
I know.
Anyway, there's your history for the day, kids.
It's just weird to think that purple and white, there used to be another color.
So Matt, if you don't like the red, what do you think about the yellow? Wow. Okay, let's talk about the guys. So returners, all the guys we got coming back.
Let's talk about them.
Rati, super senior, take 2.
Yep.
Since he got the medical redshirt year for his ACL.
They're back at it again. I love that you put that on there.
Yeah, back at it again.
Back at it again. Yeah, we got Rati, like she said, super senior. Then we got, of course, Nigel, the Night Hawk, Hawkins. He's our graduate student. And I'm so excited for him. Yeah, him and Rati are going to be that, like, amazing, that amazing, just I'm not going to say adult. I mean, obviously they're adults, but like that amazing, like, leadership on the court. They've been here a long time. They know how to play. They know how to play under Coach Keller. Like, they are the leaders on this team. And I think that they can do it. Like, they're taking over for David. They're taking over for, him being kind of like the leadership role on the team. And so, I'm really excited to see how they respond on the court, being in that position, in that role. So it's going to be a really interesting, dynamic, because you have a bunch of these, players that have been around for a while. Like, and then of course you got, our boy Russell.
I cannot believe that Russell's a senior.
There's no way. I guess he is.
I mean, that's what it said.
Or sweet little Russell. Maybe he's like a senior by year, but not by playing.
It's just a senior on his thing.
Well, I don't want you to leave, Russ. I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
No, I don't either.
Sweet little Russell. This is the year where Russell literally comes out swinging. Poor man, the poor kid has been like totally just down bad with injuries, like ever since he came. And every time and every year he gets healthy and he figures it out, and now he's back. It's like, boom, he gets hurt again. I just always felt so bad for him, because I really do think he has like a lot to give and show. He just hasn't had the opportunity.
Well, maybe he'll have eligibility to be a super senior because of his injuries and COVID. I don't know.
That's what I'm hoping. Because I felt really bad for him, because every time he had an opportunity, he'd play a few games, he'd come in off the bench, and then he would get hurt. I'm just like, shit. So everyone put Russell in a freaking bubble of prayer that he...
We want you back for one more year, Russell. Okay, then we have one of our personal faves, Trell. So listed him as a sophomore, and I thought he was a junior, but the whole like COVID extra year has thrown me off on everyone. So maybe that's why he has an extra year.
Right. That, that's thrown me off as well. And that may be.
Because he played at Kansas 1 year, and we've had him for 1 year, and then this is his 3rd year. So he should be a junior, but maybe COVID gave him an extra. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just.
Yeah, I'm not either, because even if you look at his bio more, it even says like as a freshman, and it has last year. And it says Pride SFA, it says played freshman season at Kansas under Bill Self. So then again, like, so I don't know how that all shakes out and works out. Obviously, it'll work out in the wash. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a sophomore, and so that means if we have more time with Trell, great, because that is my dude. Like when he gets hot on the threes, he is hot. Hot potato, can't touch him. I want more of that this season. I'm, so excited to see Trell. And again, last year's his first year at SFA under Keller. So now he has a whole year under his belt. He knows the offense. He knows the coaches. He has the same guys, the same dogs in the trenches that he had last year, minus a few. And I really think Trell is going to have a really standout. What is that smile?
Sorry, I was having to break up cats fighting, and I didn't know.
I didn't hear anything.
And I was just sliding back into the frame.
That was cute. That was nice. That was good.
Yeah. Okay. So then we got so excited to have Trell for as many years as we can have him. Then we got Nana back.
Nana,
I just love Nana so much, and we've said it before. I mean, I saw him in high school, and I was just unsure because
right.
he was a high school boy who needed some muscles and lbs, and Cody's worked wonders with him. Obviously, he's been putting in the work, and he has really progressed and flourished, and it's a great addition, great hometown addition.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a great personality, and you can tell that he really has a good attitude. He contributes and works hard. So I think he's great on and off the court for the whole group chemistry, and we love Nana.
I agree. I know, because you had even told me whenever you saw that he was signing with SFA, and he was just like, not sure. And I get it. Like, I totally get it, because, when you see him playing in a high school setting, you're not sure, because he just didn't have a lot of weight to him. He has the height. Don't get me. I mean, he has the height. It's just can he throw his body around and get aggressive down there in the paint? And
in our defense, the taller players that we've gotten have not been strong.
No.
So I didn't have a high bar to work off of. I was like, here we go.
This is true. But Nana has surprised us in the best possible way. Not because we didn't think he couldn't do it, just because he's taken his expectations, again, I feel like that's a lot of pressure, because he's a hometown kid, Everybody, listen, when they announced Nana last night, the crowd roared for him because he's a hometown kid. Could you, just think of the amount of pressure. I know you probably know, because you're, again, a knack rat too. You're a bin. The hometown pressure of being a star in high school, so to speak, and then going to the local university, and also working hard to be, a star and a starter type, role. That's a lot for a kid. And so I think you're right. He has the great mentality. He has a great personality. He's always just smiling. I don't think I've ever seen him with a frown. He does what he's supposed to do. He listens. He's coachable, and he's been working really hard in the gym. It's obvious. So
yeah, it has paid off. But I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because it definitely does have to be a lot of pressure on him that I can't even imagine.
Your dad works for SFA. Come on.
Times 10 probably of what I've even experienced. And this weekend, whenever I was in for homecoming, a friend of mine who no longer lives in NAC anymore, we went out a couple of times, and he's always been like, oh, everyone in Nacogdoches. And then literally every time we went out over the weekend, there were 10 people I know at every venue. And he's like, everyone. And I'm like, do you now understand the pressure that I feel when I go anywhere? All eyes are on me watching everything I'm doing. So, his experience is times 10 on everything I've felt. I can't imagine. So it is a lot. So again, back to our previous statement, any positive reinforcement and support that you can give any of these guys is so helpful.
For sure. Who's next?
Yeah, we love you. We're proud of you. One of our other, they're all our favorites.
They're all our favorites. We can't say that. Yeah.
JJP, Jalen.
He's another one. Let me tell you what, whenever we first got him, I knew he was going to be special. That was a given. I just had a feeling. But he has also surprised me in the best possible way. His attitude is fantastic. I'm not saying that I'm just shocked by that, but like he's, I just never would have, I guess, seen that from him. I almost kind of like pictured him more as like a, just kind of like a really quiet, kind of like standoffish guy. But
Well, we had a slow start with him too because
that's true.
he was like a really hot commodity prospect recruit,
Injured.
and then we got him, and then he immediately gets injured. So we don't get to see anything.
Right.
And so we don't really know him. We don't know his playing style. We don't know if he can live up to the hype that we've heard. And then, finally he gets to play and we're like, yeah, he's
exactly. No, yeah, exactly. But JJP, again, he's sophomore, so we'll have him for a few more years as well. But again, it feels like we've had these guys for so long already, but just because, they've been injured or COVID years, we're getting all of this extra time with these guys. And it's really, honestly, I don't see any detriment to it. I mean, the longer they're here, the better they'll continue to get. So, I mean, because of our amazing coaching staff and Cody, strength and conditioning, like I'm telling you, when they kept posting all the off-season strength and conditioning videos and pictures, like every time I was like, these dudes look like monsters.
I know. I'm like, I need Cody to like be up a little like
workout plan,
workout and diet, because I want my abs to look like that.
Nuts, just nuts. And you can just tell. I mean, even just looking at the guys last night, obviously, yes, like they were big and muscular and stuff last year, but like
he's a magician. With whatever, like, quick accolades to him, because he not only does their workouts, but he does a lot of their meals, because obviously the two go hand in hand, which is nutrition. Leaps and bounds to me above how it was, like, for example, when I was in high school, like we were all just like eating shit and drinking sodas and
for sure
showed up to lift weights, and nobody really thought about all that stuff. And now it really is such a science, and there's so much that you can do with your body if you put the right stuff in it. Imagine that. Like,
imagine that. You don't eat pizza and you eat a salad. Imagine that.
I know, it's wild. But yeah, he does a really great job with them, and I'm always amazed. And like, I want to be on the Cody program that he prescribes, whatever it is. I think. I don't know. I might try it and be like,
you may go one day and then he has you flipping tires and you're like, never mind.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm like a CrossFit workout type gal. I don't know. I've tried a lot of things. That's one thing I haven't tried. But anyways, neither here nor there.
Who do we got next?
Last two guys we have returning are two freshmen from last year that we had the pleasure of sitting with at Meet the Jacks, and love both of these guys. They're great. So Derek, man, he really, I feel like came out of his shell towards the end of the season. I mean, he was always great, but like really like came out and was like,
because we needed him,
vying for one of our best like 6-man positions.
We needed him for sure. We needed him as a 6-man off the bench because we were getting caught with the injury bug there towards the end of the season, because we had a couple of people down a few games, and Derek stepped up in a big way. And I think just the more time he plays, the better he got. The more time he played, the better he got. Not saying he wasn't better prior, but we just hadn't seen him. We just hadn't seen him play. And now, God dog, if my phone goes off one more time, dude, no one messages me when I'm not just doing nothing. And then as soon as I just sit and do this, it's like ring, 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 ring. Anyway, Derek Tenzano, love him. Can't wait to see what else he does. Can't wait to see what else he brings to the table. I think he, again, nowhere but up for him. I think his attitude's phenomenal. Here's another thing too about just the team. From what we've heard and what we've seen so far, their camaraderie and they mesh. Like, who did I?
We were talking to George.
Comparing them to. We were talking to George, but I think we were comparing them to like the 2019 team. Was it the 2019 team? 2019, 2020? The one that had the opportunity to go all the freaking way. You could then COVID hit. Yeah. So the camaraderie and the skills and just the togetherness and that I'm playing for not myself, but for someone else on the team mentality and how well they got along. It was every time we kept hearing this and hearing this and hearing this, I'm like, this is reminding me of the 2019 team. The fact that they all got along, they all played for each other, they all hung out on and off the court, they were all friends and they all got along, and the locker room was good and everybody was playing for the right reasons, and nobody was, being a bad apple and a bad egg. I was like, this is 2019 written all over it, man. And if we would have the opportunity in 2020 to go to the freaking conference, and if COVID didn't hit, we would have freaking killed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. And it's really wild how, very, very small changes can make such a big difference in the team dynamic and chemistry. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say today.
Isn't it a damn thing? Isn't it a damn thing?
But yeah, I think from what George told us, the just chemistry and cohesiveness of this group of guys is really phenomenal, and that like we've seen in the past, that always translates really well, because some of the years that we've had the best, really the most like high level of athletic talent on the team, but there were just a few pieces that, and I'm not even saying in these instances, I don't think it was anything specifically bad about one person. Just it's a team sport, and sometimes certain players don't mesh that need to mesh, and if they don't, they don't. And you can't, it's something that's hard to just create out of nowhere if it's not.
You can't force it. You can't force.
So the fact that, and that's something that unfortunately is in my opinion, but I'm more into like the psychology part of it, it's the hardest thing for coaches to predict season to season, because you can handpick the most talented athletes.
Oh God.
One or two of them don't mesh well, then you can't predict that. You don't know coming in, and then it doesn't work as well.
I agree. I mean, you could have the most talented team in the world. You could have the best point guard, the best forward, like all of these positions, like the number one dude in the world, number one recruit out of high school type guy. You know what I mean? 5-star, 3, whatever the stars are for basketball, whatever it is. But if the team doesn't get along in the locker room and they don't have this buy-in, they buy into the culture, they buy into the coaches, they buy into the team aspect, and they get along in the locker room, I don't care who you got on the bench. I don't care who you got in the locker room. It's not going to work, because we've seen it. We've seen it. The year that we didn't make the damn tournament, that was the year. And the one in recent memory where we didn't make the tournament because we were just not clicking, not getting along. It was horrible.
Yeah. So sorry, I sidetracked that one. So
no, it's okay. It's all right.
Last returning player we have is Day Hall. Again, one of our freshmen from last year, we got to meet at Meet the Jacks. We love Day. He has just more. I mean, every player has their strength, but I could go on and on about him for days. But he just has so much energy on the court. He comes out and also, which like Dad, yesterday was really the first time that Dad's been up close and personal with a lot of them. And Dad was like, he's really not much bigger than I am. Like he just plays like he's so much bigger than that. And he really does. Like he is absolutely like a power forward who will get in there and like.
He's a workhorse, babe.
Work in the lane. And I mean, my dad's not a big guy. Like he's not short, but my dad's not a big guy, and Day-Day's really, they could probably wear the same clothes. Like he's not that much bigger.
Right. No,
when you watch him play, he's just wildly
he
athletic.
Plays bigger than what he is, which is so cool. And like I said, he's a workhorse. I've never seen that's what I'm saying. He coming off a bench, like as a freshman, he was insane. Like the biggest surprise this season to me, other than Nana, was probably Day. Like Day was just an absolute terror in the best possible way. Like he was nuts.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle. I want to say that when I come to Nacogdoches in January, I better get an appearance on the podcast. Of course.
Nope, you got to apply.
We're dying to have you on. When are you going to be in January, Kyle?
I think he posted the other day that he's coming like the beginning of January, like the January 4th, 5th or something like that for those games. Yeah. And then he said 2 words. Latrell Jossell.
We love our trail. We do. Last thing I'll say on Day really quick, because I just love him so much. But also I think a lot of his dynamic for the New Mexico State game, January 4th. Yep, women's game on January 5th. Perfect. Alex, you were right on target. Day is literally so athletic, but I also think a good portion of why he's so crazy good is I think a lot of it is because last year as a freshman straight out of high school, he did not play intimidated ever.
No.
So I think he's also in his head, he's not only, it's such a hard combination to find, but he's not only super athletic, but he also has a very high basketball IQ. He's not intimidated because he knows where he should be on the floor and he knows where to hit his mark and be and how to read the offense and the defense. And he's just not intimidated one little bit. And that's chef's kiss. Love to see it. Okay, let's keep rolling and launch into the newbies. So the first one that we have is Kyle Heyman. And I got very confused last night because they introduced him as Matt. And I was like, because I had looked over the roster yesterday before to try to refresh myself on the new guys. And so I say to Davion, isn't his name Kyle? I'm confused. And he's like, well, Coach Keller said that he could be the only Kyle. So he had to go by something else. And I was like, so is Matt his
has to be a middle name. Has to be a middle name.
And he was like, I don't know. I think Keller just made it up. And I'm like, okay.
Surely it's his middle name, like Kyle Matthew. Surely.
He acted like he did not know for sure if that was his middle name. So I don't know.
We're going to need to.
I know. We'll have to ask Matt Heyman himself if Matt is.
Because I looked up his social media and it said Matt. Hold on. Continue.
I don't know if he just put that because Keller calls him that. Okay, so he is from Delhi.
If he did, that's funny as hell. If he changed his name on fucking Instagram because Kyle Keller calls him Matthew so that Kyle's the only Kyle, that's funny. Hold on. Now I really need to know.
To be determined. We're gonna have to ask him. I'll do more research on it in a minute, but I'm not gonna try to look at it right now. Okay, so he's from Delhi, Louisiana. He went to Ouachita Parish High School and Hens Community College. I guess that's how you say it. Oh, it's okay. I can't. Oh, we'll see. But I don't know if he changed it that because that's what Keller calls him.
Says Matt Heyman. Son of a bee, I swear.
I don't know. While playing for Ouachita Parish High School, Kyle was awarded first team all district, second team all state, and second team all conference. So I'm going to go ahead and say, because we're going to switch back and forth here on some of these guys. And some of them we have more bullet points here to read. That is not out of any preference on our part. This is exactly what they have on the website. So maybe some of these, they just didn't provide as much info. Just FYI.
That's probably facts, yeah. I don't know. That's weird. Well, now we just need to know. Is it because your middle name's Matthew or who knows? This matcha milk's starting to hit me like a ton of bricks. Anyway, let's go, baby. All right. So the next guy we have on the list is Jaleel. So let me find his little bio. I mean, at the moment, all the information that we have is that he's from Miami, Florida. He attended Monteverde Academy, and he is the son of Clifford Boburn and Nicole Moxie. That's all we got. He's from Miami, Florida, and he's a junior. That's the only info we got.
You can go ahead and roll through the next one since we didn't have anything on him really.
Yeah, I feel bad because they just don't have much on his bio, which is I feel bad. Anyway. All right, so the next we have is AJ, and it's again Kajusti, hopefully. And that was Jalil Brobron. So AJ, he's a junior transfer. He was previously at Indiana River State College. He's also went to Oxbridge Academy, which I'm assuming that's his high school. He's from Boca Raton, Florida. So he's not the only Florida guy that we've ever had on the team. We've had some Florida people in the past. While playing at Oxbridge Academy, AJ was awarded the first team All-County. He pretty much made a name for himself at Indian River State team or Indian River State College, where he won multiple awards. He won All-State team, National Junior College Association, Region 8 Player of the Year, All-Tournament team, National Junior College Association, All-American, Conference Player of the Year. So he has a bunch of accolades. Another JUCO transfer. We've had a lot of success in the past with JUCO transfers, and so I'm just going to assume that this is just more of the same. More of the same. We've had, like I said, a lot of JUCO transfers in the past, and he's just another one on a list that we've had that we're getting, and I can't wait. I love JUCO transfers. I love getting freshmen in because then we can, really have them for a long time. But those JUCO transfers, they already had college experience. Even if it is at the junior college level, that's still college experience. Like, it's still experience in a collegiate game. And they're just prepared, usually pretty prepared. So love.
Agreed. Okay. So next one that we have on the list, and I swear cat hair's everywhere. So I feel like I did notice this in the back of my mind, but I just didn't think about it. So thank you to, our, one of our other devoted fans, Matt Adkins, for bringing this up. He was not present at Meet the Jacks last night, but he is listed on the roster. So
correct.
Unclear. Hope we get to meet him soon. And unclear. Montavious Murphy, a junior. So he is from Spring, Texas. He went to Concordia Lutheran High School, and he also played for Kansas State. So he was a 4-year letterman for Concordia Lutheran High School, where he earned awards such as District Defensive Player of the Year, First Team All-District, and First Team All-State. He then took a talents Kansas State, where he became the 4th freshman to start an opener under head coach Bruce Weber. While there, he averaged 5.4 points per game, 46% from the field, and 38% from the 3-point line. Pretty nice.
Not bad. Yeah. So like Jacqueline said, I'm just hoping that, something came up and he couldn't attend Meet the Jacks last night. Unsure. We'll probably know more next week, but until it is said verbally or he's removed off the roster, he's still on the team to us. So hope to see you on the court, Montavious. We got the jokester on the team, as we're told. This guy, I can already tell he's going to be, you know who he kind of reminds me of? Why am I blanking?
Were you going to, I don't know.
Wow, what was it? He was wearing the Scooby-Doo shirt.
Oh, Leon.
That's it. What? Leon Gilmore. He kind of reminds me of Leon, like he cuts up, like just a goofball. You never know what he's gonna say or do. That's what I kind of feel like Mr. Robbie M. Brewster. That's how I feel he is. So he's sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. He went to Terrell High School. While he was at high school, he was part of the state championship team. He was awarded first team All-State and MVP. So, Robbie, welcome to the Sawmill, baby.
Excited. Okay, and our freshman we had sitting at our table last night, Davion Scott. He is from Fort Worth. He played at Keller Central High School. He won awards such as Second Team All-District, Academic All-District, and Academic All-State. Like I said, he seems like a super nice kid. I guess I'm going to call him a kid since he calls me ma'am.
That's only fair.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun getting to know him last night. So I really look forward to seeing him play more. And I told him about our podcast, and I said, you'll probably get tired of hearing us and seeing us at games, but come say hi.
Because we sit right behind the bench. That's funny.
Yeah,
and then the last guy we got on the team is our other freshman, Cade Walker. He's from Avenger, Texas. He went to Avenger High School. So he was at Avenger High School while he was there. He won multiple awards during his tenure. He won first team all district, all region, offensive MVP, and athlete of the year. So Cade, I need to go and look real fast. Hold on a second. Cade. Oh, it doesn't have his height on there.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Dang, all the new guys, there's no height yet. And when they were standing, I just couldn't tell the because they were on a stage. And so, from the stage, he looks like he was the tallest guy. But I don't know if it was him who's the tallest, or maybe he was just wearing boots, or if it was actually Jaleel might be tall, but also then there's Nana. So I really honestly don't know. Because they don't have their heights and such on the roster. So unsure on that. But he looked like he was as tall as Nana or maybe a little taller. But again, couldn't tell 100% sure. But yeah, excited. What a great little group of returnees and newbies. And man, we are excited. But let's talk about the staff. Because we do have a little bit of a change in the staff. Just a little. So, of course, as per, we got our returning head coach, Mr. Kyle Keller. What year is this for him? 7? 6? 7?
It's either 6 or 7. I should know that off the top of my head, and I do not.
Yeah, I'm not that. I think it's something. I think it's like 7, to be fair. I don't even know if they even say it in his body. No, it says we'll enter a 6th season in charge of the Lumberjacks. So I guess it is 6. It just felt like longer. But
it's been a long time.
I know. Anyway, so coming off the 22-10 season from last year, obviously we finished 3rd in the WAC standings, but obviously we have a share of the title, even though we were 3rd in the standings. But Kyle Keller, he's back in charge again. We also have returning associate head coach Tony Jasic, which is Jacqueline's parents' neighbor. Then you have assistant coach Tanner Smith. Strength and conditioning with Cody, of course, and the athletic trainer, Jacoby Whitaker. Again, great little returning group there. And then, of course, we have our new guys. We got a couple that aren't new to the team and to the Lumberjack program.
They're returning, but just in a new position.
Right, a new role, so to speak. Yes. First off, we have the man, the myth, the legend. Dallas. Dallas game. I was like, gonna say it.
I mean, we can like gush about this for days, but we love.
I could gush about Dallas for a whole podcast.
We love whenever former players are on staff. First of all, and
love
Des and Dallas. I couldn't think of 2 better guys for us to have had come back as part of the coaching staff who's played for us before. Two of our best team leaders we've really ever had in the last 10 years of SFA basketball. So I can't wait to see him interact with the guys during the game and just his whole journey. We're rooting you on in a different capacity now, Dallas. So we're excited to have you.
I know. I'm so excited. I was just so stoked to see that he was coming back. He's one of the nicest dudes. Nice. Yeah. And of course, another Florida boy. So I told you we've had a lot of Florida boys on our team, and he was, of course, one of them. And obviously, before he came back to SFA, he worked at American University for 1 year as an assistant coach. And he also spent 2 seasons as the grad assistant and assistant video coordinator at Oklahoma State. So he has a lot of experience. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to recruit. He knows what he's doing. So we are so excited to have him on our team again. Instead of playing, he is coaching, and I couldn't think of a better guy to help lead the team to victory. I could talk to Dallas for days. He's just a nice dude. Like, he will sit there and talk to you forever.
I haven't gotten to talk to him since he came back. So.
Oh, I love
Hopefully we can
talking
get up soon.
Yeah. Then of course we have our new director of basketball operations. Is it?
So I heard them pronounce it yesterday, Quay.
Quay. That sounds 100% right. Yeah.
I have not met him yet, but I think he said that he's a NAC local, which I did.
He is a NAC local. That is what Chauncey said.
I'm old, so I wouldn't know him anyway. But I didn't know that, so that's interesting.
Yeah, he's a NAC local. Chauncey kind of he said, or she said, that he went to
like Illinois or somewhere, and
yeah. He was with Brad Underwood at Illinois for a while. He has a master's degree from the University of Illinois as well. I mean, he also did his undergrad at U of H. He spent multiple years on the court with the Cougars as a student manager. And so he also worked with the Sacramento Kings as a video coaching assistant. So he has a lot of basketball experience in multiple different areas. I mean, if you can work for freaking Brad Underwood, you can work for anybody, baby.
Yeah, when they were reading off his list of experience yesterday, I was like very impressed.
Yeah. When Chauncey originally told me all of his background, I was like, okay, all right. But of course, Keller has these connections to these kids and to these guys. I mean, how do you think Kevon, other than Kevon being Kevon and being so talented, how do you think he, was able to get not an easy path, but like a connection with the Orlando Magic? It's because Kyle knows somebody. It's the same thing with Devontae Fitzgerald. He now works for the Orlando Magic as a video guy.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope they get to that's just cool.
That's just cool. And of course, not saying that Kevon, that's the only reason why Kevon's playing for the Magic right now, but he helped get that conversation started.
Yeah, get the opportunity. It's always the opportunity can be dictated by the connections that you have, but then getting it and keeping it's your own work. So
100%.
Hopefully those two things connected.
Yeah, I love it. And then we have three graduate assistants. I don't know if we've ever had that many. I honestly don't know if we've ever had that many graduate assistants, but yeah, anyway, so we have 3 graduate assistants. We have another returning guy from the past showing his face again. We got Ivan Kinnett.
His face yet because he wasn't there last night. But
that's true, he wasn't there, but we know what he looks like, so we know who it is. We know what he looks like. We know what he's about. We know Ivan. He was there whenever we had a lot of our giant killer games. He was there for the LSU game. He was there for the Baylor games. So, he's been around for a lot of really big games on the court. And another returnee under Keller to come back and help lead the team. And so excited to have Ivan back. He's also from Florida as well.
Yeah.
We also have 2 other guys. These are 2 guys that I don't know anything about, haven't met them, don't know them from Adam, but we have Connor Griffith and Brady Mast. When it comes to Connor, I'm pulling up his bio, and I don't know if there's anything there. He looks so familiar, though. Now that I see his face. Why does he look familiar, Jeff?
I don't know, but they don't have a bio on either one of them, I don't think, because I'm curious also. So there is a Mast family in Nacogdoches that goes back pretty far. So I'm wondering if this Brady Mast has any connection to them. But
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome to the team, Connor and Brady. And if you have been around Nacogdoches or been around the Lumberjacks in the past, I'm sorry that we don't remember. I apologize. But God, that one looks so familiar. I feel like I've seen him around. Connor. I don't know. Anyway, anywho. Where are we at? Let's continue. So went through all the players, went through all the staff. Should we talk about possible starting lineups?
You know what? I didn't even really think about it, and I honestly have no idea. Hold on, let me think for a second here.
Well, I can go over mine because I wrote it down.
Okay.
So while you think, I'll talk about mine. And again, this is going in blind. Well, not really blind because all the people I put on a starting lineup are people that have played for us before. This is just assuming that Kyle is putting in experience on the Lumberjack team and not necessarily new blood as a starting lineup. Hell, he might. Who knows? You could have, Jaleel or Robbie out there as a starter. I don't know. These are just my thoughts, knowing what I know about what happened last season. So starting off, obviously, it's got to be Rati and Nigel because those are our super seniors. Those are our returnee guys. They've been here the longest, so that's just a given to me, is having Rati and Nigel on there. Another guy that I think most likely is going to be a starter is going to be Trell. I mean, considering how well he did last year, I really think Trell has the capability and has the know-how and the skills, especially when he's hot, to be a starter. So again, but we will see what is chosen. And honestly, they may not have, like, the first few games are going to be, like those kind of like exhibition type games, like we're playing, like the cupcake school. So they may not even stick with that roster where they start on Monday. They may not even stick with that when we get into like conference. It could change. Who knows? The other person I had on here was JJP, another guy I think 100% deserves to be a starter. I think he has, again, he could easily be, the leader, the point guard, taking things out. He can do it. And I also think that potentially we got Nana there in the starting lineup too. Just depends on probably also will depend on the game, who we're playing too. I mean, it may not be the same starting lineup every game. It depends on who we're playing and what their starting lineup is and what the plan is. Is it to play the bigs? Is it to go small? Is it to, kill him with speed? Is it to kill him with shooting? I don't know. Again, I can't read minds. I wish I could. I don't know what Keller's going to do, but it's honestly, those are my fives. And I think I'll throw in the sixth man off the bench. How about we do that too? Okay. Sixth man off the bench. So I had Rati, Trell, Nana, Nigel, JJP as my starting five. And I think the sixth man off the bench is most likely going to be either Day-Day, as long as he's good to go health-wise, or it could also be Jaleel, to be fair. Jaleel or AJ. See, this is hard. There's a lot of guys in there with a lot of skill. It could also be Robbie. I don't know. I've never seen them play before. Yeah. But I think six man's been most likely going to be Day-Day as long as he's good health-wise, or Jaleel. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, this is so hard, and I'm going to give
it hard. It's probably the hardest we've ever had to do.
Don't at us because, first of all, this is sight unseen. I haven't even seen the guys practice.
No,
haven't seen nothing. And also what's hard this time around is most of really kind of just despite only okay, hold on, we got a text.
I know, I just saw it. Remember?
I have to give a shout out here because we failed to mention her when we talked about David. David's girlfriend, Maria, who we love and have remained friends with. And we hope that she can make it for an SFA game sometime this season, or maybe we'll just have to take a trip to Philly or Pennsylvania. Why did I say Philly? We could go to Philly while we're there.
Because Philly is in Pennsylvania.
Text us, watching your podcast right now, and it's so bittersweet. Excited to see what this season holds for them. Maria, we love you.
Love you so much. Oh my God.
Yeah, and your mom, we miss her too. So tell her hi for us.
Yeah, 100%. Cat fans doesn't like to comment on the stream because he's a big old wussy boy. He wanted to know if did we miss the whack and cheese segment and then jokes about Lamar. Oh, well, don't worry, we'll get there. Especially Lamar, we'll get there.
Okay, so what I was gonna say is what's hard, especially this time around, is really most of, with the exception of Nana, most of the returning players we have are, more of like a guard or a small forward.
100%. And
So I'm like wanting to sit there and throw the guys that I know and have seen and who have experience and are great into the starting five. And then I'm like, I got 5 guards and small forwards. Like, we got to have somebody big on the floor. So again, like take it as whatever. So yeah, don't at me if you feel left out, but I can't throw together a starting 5 of 5 guards.
You can't, but at the same time, we don't know.
And I haven't seen half of y'all touch a basketball, so I have no idea.
I guarantee you we can revisit this again like halfway through the season and see how it's shaking out, because like we said, this could be the starting lineup for one game. This could be the starting lineup for buckets.
Hey, buckets.
Buckets.
And again, you know what? One other disclaimer I'll give. First of all, you're going to hear from us and again, like not everybody can be a starter, and that is not the most important thing at all by far. But we will give our opinions on, if we want to, it's our opinion, it's our personal opinion. If we think, oh, maybe this person should be starting or this person we should see more playing time from. And as many of you know me, I'm equally obsessed with Bravo reality shows and the Housewives as I am basketball. But one of the podcasts I listen to that recaps the Housewives shows, and I feel like it directly correlates to basketball as well, is they're like, from one week to the next, we might feel a certain type of way about someone, and then the next week we do a complete 180 because, like, you're as good as your last episode, so you're as good as your last game. You might have a bad game, and we're like, that's all we've seen from that player, so we don't feel like they deserve those minutes quite yet. There are other people that we feel are more deserving. And then the next week, they might have a blowout game, and we're like, put him back in.
Back, yeah.
Shit, you're as good as your last game. That's all we got to go on. So take it with a grain of salt.
100%. Please do not get butthurt. We've had people butthurt in the past, and this is just opinion. And this is just us just talking. We love all the guys equally. Like, this is just these are just predictions. Like, we don't know.
And we don't know. Everybody's gonna have a bad game and a bad day. And we still love y'all, and we'll give you a big hug at the end of the game if you're pissed off and upset with your performance, and it's nothing personal. Bucket says, I can tell you I don't know what the starting 5 will be, but I can tell you the depth on this roster is going to be SFA's strength. You know what? I agree, because I just scrambled to try to put together who I think that the starting 5 will be.
Yeah, I just threw 5 names on there that I recognized. Like,
give or take.
That doesn't mean that I don't think our sweet baby Russell isn't going to get any playing time. He better, or I'm coming after Kyle. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and you know what? I hope it's different every game. I hope that.
You know what? Best way to pick up the opponent, change up your starting lineup every game.
I hope, depending on the opponent and what the strengths are and who did great in practice the week before, I hope everybody gets a chance.
100%.
And
you get a start, and you get a start, and you get a start.
Well, this is who I threw together. I think Rati and Nigel are kind of givens, not just because of the experience, but that is one of their strengths. They have put in a lot of time, and that shows in their efforts and leadership on the court. Trell as well, similar reasons, and that 3, when he's on, and we need him out there. Then this is where it got hard for me, because like I wanted to put JJP, but I'm like, I got too many like guards and small forwards now going on. So what I threw together, I put down Day Day as like a 4-man, because he, even though he is like a smaller forward, I definitely think that he plays like a power forward. I'm just going to take a gamble on Jalil, simply because Day Day was telling us yesterday that he has his shoulder dislocated from trying to block Jalil's shot. So I feel like there's probably a lot of big man energy there that we have yet to see. So who knows? And then my six
That's
man.
right, he did say that, didn't he? Huh. And please don't freak out about what Jacqueline just said. He's okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, he said he'll be back very soon. No need to rush it since our first few games are honestly, I wanted to say that yesterday, but whatever. I'm not the trainer. I'm not the one making decisions. But
I said, no need to rush, babe. You come back when you're ready. I will be okay.
No need to rush it for Laterno. But and then my 6-man guess based on that lineup, like I said a minute ago, I would have put JJP in there. That was a really small lineup, so he would be my 6-man. So yeah. That's my very uneducated guess because I haven't seen y'all play.
Very uneducated guess. All right, let's move right along just for time purposes. So moving into and talking about the schedule itself. A lot of schedule, not changes, but there's a few things we need to kind of mention before we talk about the games. So first off is the conference changes. I would like to give a short but sweet FU to Lamar because you done fucked up a lot of shit when you decided that you were too coward to stay in the WAC. Bye. Deuces. I can hear the cat meowing.
I know. Now we got McGonagall wants to come up here and join, but Scotty's already.
Yeah, I just, them leaving in a lurch is just, not only is it just kind of shitty because, of course, at least basketball had a little bit more time to fill those games, maybe a little, but still those games are set in stone usually pretty far in advance. For God's sake, left all of our teams in a lurch, all of them. And not just us SFA, but all the rest of the teams in the WAC. So, just a bunch of weenies. Same thing with UIW. A bunch of weenies. Good God. Are you kidding me? And you go back to the Southland? You don't even try. And if I hear one more time someone says, oh, SFA is going back to the Southland, I will find you and I will shove my crock so far up your booty hole. It's not even funny. I'm tired of it. Until we hear Ryan Ivey stand up on a podium and say, hey, guys, guess what? We couldn't cut it in the WAC. We're going back to the Southland. I will eat my crock. How about that?
First year in and 3-way tie for first, and not shabby.
I think we're okay. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. And then also, which Chicago State left the WAC, but that was a known thing. No hard feelings to them. They're leaving and moving out. No hard feelings whatsoever. Have a great time. I don't know what conference they were going to. And we love you, Buckets.
Oh, this is his first episode to watch. I'm just remembering that.
Yeah. Buckets.
That's ever, and I've been here 5 minutes. Well, maybe you'll get to make an appearance.
Oh.
The fans will just have to wait and see.
Oh, Buckets. And then, of course, we welcomed UT Arlington, the Mavericks. Welcome. I believe they were in the WAC a while ago or in the summer. I don't know, but they're with us now, and welcome, open arms. Mm-hmm. Don't be wussies like Lamar and cut ship after a year. Do me a favor.
I feel like they'll be a pretty good fit. So
I think so too. Let's see. Bucket says my official name is Axum Insider. Oh, that's right. You are the Axum Insider. That is very true. Mm-hmm. And then quick little note in name change. Dixie State is now Utah Tech. They are no longer Dixie State. Do not refer them to as Dixie State. We are all in on Utah Tech. Moving on. So let's talk about our first half of our schedule here with the non-conference games. Obviously, as per usual, nobody wants to play us because we're apparently that good.
Yeah, I forgot I hadn't even put them in the notes because when I did the notes, they weren't set.
They weren't set because they just got set like a few weeks ago, or not even that, because nobody likes to play us. And I don't blame them because we are the giant killers. And but it's funny because, all these teams that are like, oh, we don't want to play you. It's not like they're, Kansas or Duke. It's like all these little mid-major teams and like nobody, like, give me a break, brother. They just don't want to come to Nacogdoches. and then get potentially embarrassed and have to take a 3-hour bus ride back to Dallas.
I'm looking at Twitter notification from Kat just now. You should look at it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, continue. Who are we playing first?
Oh, man. Okay. Okay.
Okay, hold on, Cat fans. You're welcome. I know you're listening because you never like to comment on the stream. And he tagged me out, said, and Professor Ants called out anyone, aka I don't even know who that is. So I don't know who that man is. So I don't know if I called him out, but apparently I did. Spewing the SFA to Southland talk. Also didn't take any prisoners when discussing Lamar and UIW. You're damn right I didn't. Are you kidding me? Like, they deserve all the hate because they're a bunch of weenies.
Also, what are you guys here for?
L7 loser.
You're here for the hot takes and the tea. I mean, come on. Wouldn't be interesting if we didn't do it. All right. Non-conference games at home. We got starting Monday, November 7th.
Woo.
Away, we play Laterno. November 10th. On Thursday, we play Gardner-Webb University. November 15th on Tuesday, we play Alcorn State University at home. The rest of our non-conference, December 1st on a Thursday, we have Northwestern State at home. So last year we played them there. So this year we got them at home. December 11th on a Sunday, we got Paul Quinn.
On a Sunday at 1 o'clock. Yeah.
We have played them before.
Yeah.
On my birthday, December 19th, on a Monday evening at 6:30 p.m., we have North American University, whomever that is. Thursday, December 22nd. 22nd. I don't know why I said that weird. 22nd. We got Jackson State University.
Can I ask that Deion Sanders make an appearance at that game? I'm just kidding. He's not going to come, but I just thought it'd be funny.
Okay, you want to do the road non-conference games?
Sure, I can handle that. So road non-conference games, those will be starting on November the 19th, which is on a Saturday. The Jacks will head to Brookings, South Dakota, where they'll play the South Dakota State University Jack Rabbits. We played them at home last year, so this year is the second half of that home and home. So, man, what I wouldn't give to go to that game, but
they better not be wearing their jerseys that says Jacks on the front because that bothered me.
You know they are.
They're not the Jacks; they're the Jack Rabbits.
I know.
And we are the only Jacks.
I know. Starting on Friday, November 25th, is the start of the Northern Classic in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where Jacqueline and I will be there. Cold and cute.
Yeah. Well, I've already started planning outfits. Y'all already know.
Oh, for God's sakes. I haven't even thought about it. All I have is my parka. Maybe I'll just wear my parka and nothing else.
You know what? That would probably be good because honestly, you don't get that cold. So then you can wear the jacket outside. And then as soon as you get inside, you can just take it off and be wearing like a, short sleeve or a light long sleeve shirt or whatever.
Honestly, that may be what I do, to be fair. So first game of that is going to be at 2 o'clock against the.
So I don't know if this is correct or not, but Davion said that it is Quinnipiac, which is way easier than I would have ever thought. But
me too. I've been calling it Quinnipiac. I don't even know. Okay, sure, Quinnipiac University. And then we have the next game is on Saturday versus Middle Tennessee. And then we have Sunday at 10 a.m. versus UNC Greensboro. And I'm hoping that I will make at least the first half of that game before I have to hop on an Uber and go to the airport because I leave at like 1 or 2 o'clock that day or so to start making my long journey back to Texas since I have to work the next day. I would stay longer if I didn't have speeches on Monday. That's the only thing. I had no idea whenever I made the schedule that we'd be even remotely attempting to go to Montreal or when the games would be or what time, but oh well. Anyway, continuing on with the non-conference games away. We'll be playing in Ruston, Louisiana against another big non-conference rival foe that we always have trouble with, especially there. La Tech, December 14th, which Jacqueline and I think are going to make a little road trip for that one. I think that'd be a fun game to go to.
But you know what? We're going to have to take Lonnie with us because last time that we played them there and Lonnie and I went, we won.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, Bucket said the South Dakota State game will be fire. It was fire last year. It was a really good game at home. And we ended up barely losing that game. Or I don't know if it was barely. It was still a good game. It was still a really good game. So
Lonnie Luna, I will text you, mark your calendar for December 14th on a Wednesday to go to La Tech.
Oh boy. Yes. And then to round out the non-conference at home or away games, we'll be playing December 17th, which is a Saturday in Greenville, South Carolina, which again, would love to go to that game. Love, at Furman University. We'll have to check our monies at that point after the Montreal trip. We'll see what the monies look like, and maybe we can make it work, but we'll have to see. All right, so moving into conference matchups. So conference starts a little bit early this year, right before the new year. We'll be playing at home. I'll do all the home conferences, and Jacqueline, you could do the ways. So we'll be playing at home versus Abilene Christian on December 29th at 6:30. That's a Thursday. There's a lot of Thursday games. Like there's a lot of games on different days. There's like Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday. Like there's games on almost different days of the week every week, and it's giving me whiplash. But yeah, we got Abilene Christian at home. Then we have on January 4th, which is a Wednesday, we got New Mexico State University at home. Kill me now, bless. But that's when we have our sweet baby Kyle coming, and so I can't wait. Oh look, Jonathan. Buckets. I'll be in Greenville. Short drive and Columbus. Oh, when I'm on break. Oh, good. Okay. If we go to that game, we'll let you know.
Yeah, because we will need to be shown around Greenville because I've just heard it's like the coolest city.
I've heard the same thing. If we were not going to Montreal, then we would be putting all of our money and effort into planning a badass Greenville trip. But yeah, that would be cool. Let's see. So right after New Mexico State University, I feel like this happens every time. We play one, then we play another freaking juggernaut at home back to back. It's a freaking melee. We got New Mexico State University. Huh?
It's always those two.
It's always those two. We got them back to back. Then you got Grand Canyon on the 7th on Saturday in NAC. Moving on, January 25th, we got a little of a break. Then on the 25th, we are playing UTRGV at home. And then we're playing Seattle U, which last year we only played them there. So this year we're playing them here at home on the 28th of January. Then we have a little bit of a break, away games, and then we come back to home on February 16th playing Tarleton State, which they always have our number. And God dang it, they're always such a hard game as well. Man, our schedule, again, our conference schedule, it is not cupcake. It is not. If anybody says that our non-conference and our conference schedules are just cupcake, I'm sorry. Like all of these games are going to be good games. So, I mean, obviously minus like the Laterno, but like Jesus. Then right after that we have, so I said Seattle U on the 28th, and then we have another break where we go to Tarleton on the 16th of February. And then we have on the February 18th, which is a Saturday, we have UT Arlington. So for the first time, we're playing the Mavericks. Can't wait for that. And we're only playing Seattle U once, and we're playing the Mavericks twice. Okay. So there's only a couple teams that we only play once, Seattle being one of them. And I think Southern Utah as well. But after that, we have 2 more home games, February 26th with California Baptist, and then March 1st, last home game of the year, Sam Houston, as it should be for the last year in the WAC. Bring it on, Bearcats. Take that, Cat fans. You're going down.
Yeah, I think so too, Buckets.
Which game Buckets are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then Buckets also said, Coach Keller says this is the toughest schedule on paper, given the strength of the crowd. 100%. Again, so many people, and I get it. A lot of people were upset that there wasn't like this big marquee Power 5 game that we usually have non-conference. You know, we've had Duke, we've had Kansas, you know, we've had all of LSU, Baylor, we've had all these in the past, like these really big big Power 5 non-conference games. But this schedule, just when you look at it on paper, is extremely difficult. It is. It's not easy.
No, not at all. And also, again, like we talk about this a million times, so I'm not even going to waste that much time on it, because if you don't get it by now, you don't get it. But I mean, we beat Duke at Duke, and then we came like damn close to beating Kansas at Kansas. I mean,
damn close.
That 9-point loss was not even really indicative of it. It was one of those where within the last like minute, it ended up, we were having to foul, and we ended up letting them run it up a few more points. So that's not even, doesn't even illustrate. So as we continue having these games like that, these schools are not going to keep going. Yeah, I think it's a great idea for us to have SFA for a bye game. No, they're not dummies. They want to win a bye game. That's why they're buying it.
Exactly. I mean, and Buckets says it, and he is so correct. He says beating Duke at Cameron has consequences. It does. It was, for us, the consequence was twofold. Positively, because obviously we had all of the accolades. We had so much TV time, all of this stuff. I mean, just from winning that game alone, the SFA brand was so well known for such a long time. And of course, all of the other, benefits for Nate and all of that too. But then the negative side is because of this, and because now we're labeled as giant killers, nobody wants to get embarrassed in a bye game anymore.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Before you do the aways conference, Cat fans would like to say, yes, an attempt at saying the team, that damn Canada name. He put the pronunciation as Quinnipiac. I guess that's right.
I don't know. I just know that I didn't know how to say it, and the way that I said it today seemed much easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So our road conference games on New Year's Eve, we got UT Arlington on Thursday, January 12th. So that's quite a little stretch, almost 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We are at Utah Tech. Saturday, January 14th, we're at Southern Utah. Thursday, January 19th, we are at Sam Houston. Thursday, February 2nd, we are at New Mexico State. And then same deal with our home games. We got New Mexico State and Grand Canyon right beside each other. Saturday, February 4th, we're at Grand Canyon. Saturday, February 11th, we are at UTRGV. Wednesday, February 22nd at Abilene Christian. And then our very last game of the season, regular season, Friday, March 3rd at Utah Valley. So I think that's the first time in several years that we've had our New Year's Eve game an away game. So I feel like the last several years we've played either like on New Year's Eve or very close to it at home. So that is different, but
yeah, I think last year wasn't it like a New Year's Day game?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I remember us going and we were struggling.
Yeah, I feel like the past several years it's either been New Year's Eve or New Year's Day that we had a home game.
Yeah.
So that'll be different.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Sweet. We talked about it ad nauseum, but just gotta mention it one more time. Like, for those who are giving giving the coaches and giving the program a hard time for the schedule, shut your mouth. Because they don't want to play us thing because they don't want to get freaking embarrassed again is a real thing. Like, it's legitimate. Nobody wants to play us and get beat home, away, especially at home. They just don't. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. So scheduling is a challenge. And now they have this whole new, which this is a whole nother thing. I'm going to have to dedicate like a whole damn like segment in another podcast for this, because it's like the seating thing for the freaking tournament now is all different. And it all is based off of like who you play and who you schedule, and is so convoluted. And it makes sense on paper, but it didn't make sense to institute it in the middle of the freaking summer when all of these games were either already scheduled or trying to be scheduled. So it just made it really, really, really hard. And it's going to all come into play when it comes to seeding. We could literally, not saying this is going to happen, we could literally win the entire season go 31-0. But because of and be the number one, win the conference, just stick with me here, and then not get the number one seed in the conference because of who we played. I just broke my pen. And I think that's wild.
It is.
Wild. Because you know what I mean? Like last year, the girls, they won conference, right? Outright. And if the way that the seeding is this year was last year, there was a good chance that they wouldn't have gotten the first number or the number one seed because of who they played and how they performed in those games. I'm like, this is a wild concept.
You know what though? It makes more sense, and I think that
does,
because then you'll get more credibility and opportunity for the games that you schedule. I'm just glad I'm not the one having to try to figure it out and keep up with it all season, because it does seem like it could get a little dicey and a little confusing.
I agree, and I don't have a problem with it. My only problem, again, is the fact that they did it. Why couldn't have been like, hey, we're instituting this, but it won't start until the 2023-2024 season. Like you guys haven't even started scheduling those games yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why institute it right now when half the games were already scheduled and set in stone? Like, so a lot of these teams are going to get, but then you have a team like, I don't even know.
I kind of feel like that's on them. Like if you're trying to do a cupcake schedule and think that then that's kind of like, well, now you learn your lesson the hard way.
But we were having trouble filling those spots. And so it would have been nice if the WAC helped us fill those spots with better teams than what maybe we got because of that fact. And I just hate
but I just fill those spots.
Oh, I know, but I just hate that we're going to possibly get dinged because we're having to play teams like Laterno. Like that's
Yeah, but we're not trying to do that anyway, so I don't feel like
no.
That's what you're saying, but I don't think that would have changed because we're not doing that because we're trying to. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. The only record that should set conference seeding is conference record, a laughable rule. That's what Bucket says. And yeah, I agree. It should be based more on conference, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes in conference, like the way that they let it shake out is that there'll be teams that only play each other once and it's the hardest team or something, and then they end up kind of like Seattle U's schedule last year when they were leading the way at number one for such a long time. And it's like, okay, but you didn't really play any of the good schools twice. So whoop-de-doo. I
know. Yeah, I'm going to have to dedicate a whole segment and really read the new ruling and understand it better because it's weird. It's one of those things we're going to just have to get used to because it's not going to go anywhere. Like they're not going to change it out of nowhere. Okay, so a few last things here before we end it. I wanted to quickly go through the men's basketball preseason honors, just kind of scroll through that and let everybody know kind of where we ended up in these honors. So in the WAC men's basketball coaches preseason poll, they ranked us at number 3, right behind Grand Canyon and New Mexico State, which is probably where we were last year. And then also let's see, a few of our players got onto a couple preseason teams. No coaches, all WAC first teams, not a single SFA player on that, but there was an SFA player, 2 of them, on the coaches all WAC second team, which were Day Hall, and then JJP, Jalen Jackson Posey. So we didn't have a single person on the first team, but we had 2 on the second team. Moving on to the men's basketball preseason media poll. And again, we are in 3rd place. This time, though, Grand Canyon is first and New Mexico State was second, and then you had us. And then from the preseason media all WAC team, only 1 SFA player on that team, and it was JJP. So on both the preseason player of the year from the media and from the coaches poll, they all put the same person as the player of the year, which was Jovan Blackshear Jr. from Grand Canyon. So interesting little tidbit there. Just wanted to share. What did Bucket say? Why should any out-of-conference games affect the WAC? Every conference deals with playing some teams only once. I feel like the WAC consistently tries to overthink things. Buckets, I wish I knew, buddy. I really do. I really do. I don't know why they decided to make the postseason conference standing seating so convoluted and difficult. And then they decided to institute it halfway through the summer when the games were already picked. Majority of the games were again, like if you want to do this, fine, but like explain it better and institute it the next season before it even starts and people start scheduling games. Like that was my biggest deal with it. Like, but again, they're making it so analytical and so like numbers based, and it's wild. I heard that and saw it.
It sounds like a group of like a herd of wild horses are running.
Well, they are a group of wild horses. All right, so to finish things off, I know this is hard, but we're gonna just freaking try. Last season we ended at 123 in the NCAA net rankings. Where do you think we are going to end up? Not necessarily in the net, but in our season. Last year we ended at 22-10. What do we think for this season? We were 22-10 and 14-4 in conference. What do we think?
Okay, wait. Tell me again what our ending was last year.
So I was throwing out the net. So last year currently we're at 123 in the net.
What was the game ending?
Oh, sorry. So last year we ended 22-10 overall, 14-4 in the conference. So we have 31 games. I'm kind of thinking, pending any craziness, just by giving a basic look at who we're playing and how we've done against them in the past, I'm just guessing at a potential of winning 24, losing 7, maybe. That's being generous. Again, this is sight unseen. Don't know how the team plays together well versus competition. Had no idea how the closed door scrimmages went, the exhibitions. No idea. Don't even know who we played. So that's just me looking at the schedule and doing some counting and going off of past history. There's a potential there to split some of these bigger games. Like we play GCU and New Mexico State twice. If we split those, that's at least 2 losses there. La Tech always gives us issues. That could be a loss. Not saying it's going to happen. This is just past experience. South Dakota State gave us issues and beat us last year, so that could be 4. I'm assuming that UNC Greensboro, I don't really know anything about them, or Middle Tennessee, same. I'm hoping that we win that conference out or that tournament out. Don't know much about Furman, but that could potentially be an L. Other couple teams that gave us issues last year were Seattle U, and of course Tarleton and Abilene Christian. So if we split those games as well, again, I'm just kind of calculating potentially, 24-7 with 3 losses out of conference. I think there may be some early growing pains, but once the group hits a stride, they'll be dangerous. Agreed. That was how they were last year, Buckets. 24-7, exactly. 3 losses out of conference. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. It just kind of depends on how we do the beginning of the season with those with the tournament games. When we play the Montreal tournament, and then we play Furman. So, and of course, La Tech. Like those games right there are going to be our biggest challenge out of conference. So we'll see. I'm being optimistic there with only losing 7. I really hope that we hit our stride, like Bucket says, and we be dangerous and we don't have a single issue in conference, maybe a couple losses, like he said, maybe 3. No, agreed. If we can steal either South Dakota State or Furman, if we could split that even, I'd be happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? If we sneak out wins both of those, I'd be even happier. But again, being realistic and thinking logically, those are road games. Sometimes we're road warriors, sometimes we're not.
Yeah.
Just depends. It really does. So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So, but if we can split those, at least I'd be happy. I think I know nothing about Furman. I know a little bit more about South Dakota because we played them last year, but I don't know who's returning on South Dakota. They had a really good team last year. So, if we can split one, if we can steal the South Dakota game, I would be pleased, get a little bit of paid back from last year. Yeah. I love buckets. You're cracking me up, dude. If we win both of those, book your tickets because we're going dancing. Yeah. If we can win both of those games, that'll make the conference. I feel like that would give us a lot of confidence going into conference. A lot of confidence.
I agree. So my random guess, I'm gonna shoot one higher than Bucket's guess. I'm gonna go for 25-6, losing
Nice.
3 in conference. Simply because our preseason or one non-conference schedule, whatever, however you want to say it, is a little bit weaker. I mean, those two road games will be difficult, but it's not like we're playing at Kansas. And, but however, I mean, the tournament in Montreal, I really don't know how strong any of those teams are. I really don't know anything about them. And you also have to factor in, even though Canada's not that far, it is out of the country. It's a long way away. It's going to be really cold. A lot of these guys, that's going to be their very first time out of the country, period.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be just a big learning experience for them, win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, I could make a whole podcast about this on my own, but we're coming up on 2 hours. But you learn so much about yourself traveling. These guys are really going to learn some things about themselves on this trip. And so who knows what's going to happen there. As far as conference, I went for one less loss than last season, simply because even though we did pull it together at the end and do pretty well, we didn't start off as strong as we hoped, but I think we're going to step it up one more this time. So we shall see.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fair assessment as well. Again, we know nothing. We needed, before we go to Canada, Jacqueline and I are going to sit down and really look at these Canada teams that we're playing at the tournament and really learn about them. Because I mean, again, we know really not much about them. And if we were playing like a Duke or a Kansas, that's different. Like that's easy to do. But these teams, I feel like they're more on our level, obviously, and they're more the mid-major, powerhouses potentially. So we just gotta, woo boy, I'm excited. I can't
wait.
I love buckets. I know we're just about to wrap it up. Love the podcast. You got a new fan for life. Looking forward to hang out with my favorite fabulous Azabeth lady soon. Oh, buckets.
We look forward to it too. They're not all 2 hour long episodes, we promise.
No. Just the preview usually is 2 hours. And then if we have we do our big after game when we do our Canada trip, we probably will go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because we talk about the game and the tournament and our trip. So it goes a little bit longer too, but usually it's about an hour or so. But yeah, oh my God, we are so excited for the season. So many fun things, so many potential day trips and road trips other than the Montreal one. Cannot wait. Excited. It all starts on Monday. Yikes. Jacqueline, are you in your car ready to put some more miles on it?
It's ready.
Might need to get oil change.
Tires. I got the oil changed recently. It's ready to go.
Good.
That won't change it to last long, but the 4 new tires will last me a while, so that's nice.
They should. That's the hope.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Again, thank you so much, everyone that's been tuning in. If you just now tuned in and or you weren't able to watch live, of course, you can always watch this again later on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, not Instagram, Twitter. And then, of course, you can always listen on any of the podcast streaming apps, Spotify, Apple, Google, all the different streaming apps. You can listen to us as well in the car, on the go, that you don't have to miss anything. Are you in for a ride of a season? I know we are. I cannot wait. It is season 5 of us. It is 2022-2023 season. Let's get her done. Hell yeah, brother. We're so excited. All right. Thanks everyone for listening in. You will talk to us. You will hear from us again after that first game. And we are ready to go. So as always, Axe 'em Jacks.
With Alex and Jax.